Honestly, I wanted to come on this podcast forever, and look at that. My trolling landed me here on this podcast. So this is how psycho and like narcissistic I am. I like how psycho and like narcissistic I am.
Well, I hope that.
Should we be friends in real life?
Yeah, of course.
Now I know where you work. I can come here. Now I know where you work. I can come here.
Okay, great. Now that we got that all cleared out of the way, let's dive back into the rest of what happened on this episode. Now again, I'm going to do a Dr. Drew episode separately, so we're going to cut out all this part where they're going over their test results, because I want you all to see what happens on the last couple of minutes of the show. Dr. Drew is still there for a bit of it, and we're going to see what happened. I think I established my point on why Trisha did her videos about Ethan and Hila, and now we can come back and see how they made up and what happens moving forward. And again, all of this is set up for the Love Triangle episode, which I am still working on, and it will be out soon.
So I'm sorry if I embarrassed you in that moment, but my intention wasn't to broadcast that to everybody either when I said
it. The good news is now when you say, look, I apologize, I really believe that as compared to where you guys were at the beginning of the show. So whatever we've done, you guys are sort of in certainly a better, more connected place right now.
Yeah, by the way, we did talk we talked a bit before we came on and kind of buried that.
And I talked to Hila already too. Like, I think that was like the big thing for me, because I was more embarrassed about what I said about Hila. You, it's like, whatever.
Yeah, it's fine.
Just kidding.
I really don't take offense to anything. You can say anything to me. I know you don't,
yeah.
And I believe that, again, with Ethan, you can say whatever to him because he has a smart mouth. He's going to say whatever back to you. Ethan can handle it. Well, for now.
Yes, what I'm saying is there will be future fights, so I guess I will be back.
Yay, we love Dr. Drew.
Well,
maybe she wanted in a future just another Dr. Drew episode.
Which is funny because of the timing was unbelievable.
It was crazy, yeah.
Yep,
maybe we just subconsciously were like, maybe it's time to just go wild because we know he's coming next week.
Hey guys, there's one last thing to think about, and that is, if you think about a lot of celebrity marriages where you have two celebrities together, often they don't survive, and the reason is because if you have two high-level narcissists in a relationship, it just explodes. So maybe what we've discovered here is that if one person is high narcissism and the other is not, that's why the show works.
Yeah,
that's what I'm saying.
Okay, I'll take that.
Yeah,
that's true.
Thank you for the observation, Doctor. And basically, my opinion really is that I'm always willing to make it work, and there's nothing you can say or do, or you can say and storm out or whatever it is that's going to make me abandon you.
Okay.
Aw, that's so sweet. But it's lost on Trisha. Or Trisha's going to test him. Maybe it's more that. Oh, yeah? Is that what you say? Let me test that.
But Trisha believes you will.
Yeah.
And he will do stuff.
You don't believe me?
Because he even wanted to take a break. He didn't even want me to be on for this show. Like, originally you said, don't come on.
I wasn't going to do the show without you.
But you wanted him to take a break. You wanted me to take a break when I didn't want to. And I was like, oh, so that's like pushing me. That's how I stopped.
You see what I mean when I say Trisha does not stop? Ethan saying to cool down, take a break, that's an offense to her. She is not going to stop. Do not tell her not to go on the internet. Nope, Ethan. You're trying to say something nice to her, and she's taking it as an attack.
I keep trying to explain to you, but it's the problem is between Hila and Moses, okay? They have a family issue.
But you kept saying, I don't think you can continue the show. I don't think the show is like worth it anymore. That's what you said on H3 Live.
Oh, well.
This is what he said on H3 Live.
That's it.
I have a lot of empathy. It's your family, you know what I mean? And somehow she's gotten her wrench. She's in there with the, I have to give it up to Trisha. She has this uncanny. She is a one of a kind. How she has like this ability to like.
I have no idea what you guys talked about, and it's really entertaining. But I'm starting to wonder, at what cost? Because this is a bit much.
Right. At what cost? And that's the thing is I never thought that there would be a cost so high.
Yeah.
Because I feel
Trisha, you can't see that smile on his face as he's saying it. It was drama to him. The only thing that bothered Ethan is because of how it affected his wife. But him just saying that right there, How high is the cost? He's raising the stakes. He's getting us all invested. Like, yeah, what is the cost of this show? It's tearing families apart. He was playing that up in a sense. And like, now what? You're acting like you don't get what's going on either? You're supposed to be the master troll. And here's the thing too, but the reason why I was so invested in Frenemies was the family aspect. It's not the regular reality show drama. This one hates that one. Who cares? It's when it's family, in-laws, something you can escape from, something that draws you in more, and you know you should leave and you should cut off or you should mend, but for whatever reason, it can't be done. This was Frenemies. It made sense that they weren't friends, they weren't enemies, they were frenemies. They were brought together by circumstance, and we were all drawn in. Or at least I was.
So the problem is that Trisha really has issues with abandonment. And when you go down that path, it's very evocative for her.
I will not abandon you.
Aw, come on, that's so sweet. But sometimes you have that attitude where I'm not going to abandon you. But when people constantly try to test that, because they don't believe you when you say it. So with Trisha, in Trisha's case, she's testing that. He says that, she's going to test him. Poor Ethan. The good thing about Ethan is he found someone like Gila to marry, and with your wedding vows, till death do us part. I'm pretty sure Hila's not around testing Ethan on that. Like, is it really death to us part? Let me test you. Let me test you. Because you have that confidence in your marriage. You don't want to marry someone where you always have to feel like you're taking a test with them. Because even after a while, Ethan could very well mean what he says. But we know what happens eventually. Would you say he's wrong because he said he would be with her, or there's nothing she could do to push him away? Is he wrong for being pushed away? Or is it like, finally, you're putting your mental health, your family, whatever it is, first?
And what will happen is she will abandon you before you have a chance to abandon her.
And that's what I try to do. I try to be like, you know what? You can't fire me. I quit. So I was like, you know what?
So
I'm going to
then
quit. Because he
go.
kept saying on H3 Live, this show's not worth it. It's not worth the family drama. And I was like, well, in that case, then I don't care about you either. And I will quit the show.
I watched that and I wasn't taking it serious. I get what he was saying, and it was dramatic, Trisha. Let him build up suspense. That's what you were doing. Let him do it too.
Right, that's not good.
And by the way, I don't take that seriously.
See, there you go. Okay, Ethan. Yeah, I feel you. I knew that's what you were doing, Ethan. It's kind of weird that, Trisha, when you're hyping up the drama, Ethan wasn't aware of it, but Ethan is hyping up the drama and you're not aware of it. Guys, come on. Get on the same page.
Because I feel like I know who and how and what you feel in your heart. And so when you go to those places, I don't take it personally. But the problem again,
she means it though. She means when it's real to her, it's real.
I don't believe it's real to her.
It is real. That's what I'm saying. This
but
whole
I
thing
know
was
she
so
comes
real.
around. I know you come around.
Well, you got to be really careful with that because it can be a problem.
I think Trisha has an anger problem, but that's for further on. That's her problem. Take what I say with a grain of salt. I don't know what I'm talking about, but she has an anger problem.
Well, okay. Listen, the issue is it's external. It's not between me and you necessarily. It's about what happens. It's about what sometimes you say. We've talked about boundaries before. It's about what you say about Hila's family and the subsequent.
We never had this conversation off camera. It was always on camera where I just assumed it was like for the show. You don't mind me poking at it. It's like reality show where you just say stuff to poke people.
You see how she compared it to a reality show? And again, that's what she said at the very first episode, even before Ethan pulled out all the receipts. She compared the show to The View.
One of my questions for you is, how long do you think it's going to last? Because my thing is like, because with you, I know that like your relationships are very hot and cold. Mm-hmm. And so we've built this whole set and table. And I wonder, I wonder how many episodes we make before this whole thing is burned to the ground.
No, I think what's good about it is it's like we're like The View. You're like Joy Behar, and I'm like Elizabeth Hasselbeck. And even if they fight, they still have to do their job,
Different opinions and going back at each other. It doesn't matter what happens, how big the argument gets. The next day, everybody's back on the show. That's how she always saw it. So she brought it up again, except that this time, she's comparing it to a reality show.
And you never told me off camera, like, hey, really stop talking about it.
There are natural boundaries, but I was wrong.
There's no natural boundaries on our show. Like, you literally, like,
Again, I don't get what Ethan is saying. It's like, oh, it's so obvious we shouldn't be talking about family. Should have been obvious to you, Trisha, without him having to say it. Because again, he didn't tell her at that point that the family was off limits. But here's what I'm going to say to you, Ethan. Trisha's playing the whole clueless act. And even though Ethan didn't say anything to her specifically, like, don't say anything about the family, Hila's family, Trisha knew. She knew not to say anything about Hila's family. Why do I think she knew? Because of this.
I have all access to his Instagram accounts, phone, Twitter.
That's the definition of a good, healthy relationship.
Like, I always know when you guys are texting him. Like, I always just know. Like, even before, when you guys would text him, like, what's the tweets? Like, what are these about? I'm like, don't fucking respond, like, way early on. Yeah.
Freaky.
I love it. I know the group chat, so I know so much, actually.
The group chat?
Yeah, I know about your guys. I know all the group chats that come through.
So?
I'm just saying I know everything about. I know a lot, even about like your. I just know everything about your side note. And then we'll move on from Moses and his family. Specifically, Hila texted him about something and said, "Is this true?" You guys screenshot comments.
What? What did she say?
Random
you can say what?
Comments from these podcasts. You guys screenshot and send to Moses. Is this true? Are you guys 12?
So yeah, Ethan didn't go on and tell you specifically not to say it, but don't act like you didn't know. Because here's the thing. Why are you poking at him? Why are you using that to poke at Ethan?
There's so much shit.
To say that somebody's brother hates them and their mom's not invited to the wedding.
Oh my God.
It's like,
and it was so clearly a joke where I'm like, Dan and his girlfriend.
It was not a joke.
Now she's saying what's a joke and what's not a joke. You know what, Trisha? If you wanted to rag on Moses and saying Moses doesn't like Ethan or Hila, you left it at that. Even though they didn't like it, I would have said you're fair for that. Because Moses sits himself right there in that studio with you guys, chirping in when he wants to. The whole connection is because you're dating Moses. It's part of the whole lore of Frenemies. So I don't think Moses is off limits. She could have gone on and on and on and talking about how Moses doesn't like you, Moses doesn't like you. I think that's fair game. And that she should have been allowed to continue that, I think. But leave Hila's mom and other family members out of it.
When I said you guys weren't invited,
a joke? I mean, just be honest. Everybody perceived that as not being a joke. Go ahead, Dan.
No, I mean, Trisha's right. You guys talk shit all the time. I don't know. I don't think you should have been as offended as you were.
Stand up, Dan. Stand up, Dan. What did I tell you? Back there, you guys don't like this video that I did right there. You guys don't like this video, but guess what? You can't be mad at me now. Dad said the same thing. You guys talk crap about each other. So why? Why is this a problem? That's the thing. And it's not a problem. You guys are talking crap, talk crap, and come back the next week. It's not the end of the world. Come back the next week. So just dancing it right there when he's like, what's the problem? Dan, I'm so with you. Dan knows. Yo, remember we heard Dan laughing all through the background when they're getting into their fights and their arguments. Dan is the laugh track. Dan is me. Dan, when you're laughing, I'm laughing because I feel you. It was just, let's sit back and watch. The show's not over. The show just got interesting. This is the cliffhanger of the season finale. Then they're going to come back with all new episodes. That's how you treat it. Dan was sitting back laughing because it was jokes. Not that, it's again family, whatever, but it was drama. The show's called Frenemies.
At least without having the conversation off the air.
The conversation off the air, I agree. But I wasn't offended. I just said we can't talk about this.
Again, Ethan is not offended. That's what I get Ethan on this part, but we get Ethan, you're not offended, but because you're offended, because Hila's offended, then you're offended. You know what I mean? I know you're not, but you are. You are.
Well, I said Hila doesn't want to talk about the family
stuff. We're talking
stuff.
about two different things now, though.
Yeah, you just want.
Wait, I'm not offended. I'm not offended by anything you ever
about
told
saying
me.
you're not invited to the wedding. I joked him and Eli. I was like, you know what? Dan and his girlfriend are invited, but you're not invited. You really think I'm going to invite Dan and his girlfriend over you and Eli?
No, that was a joke. That was a joke.
And that's the same sense that I said, and his mom too.
Yeah.
There was a different comment where you said
it was in that same circumstance. It's like, and not his mom either. Clearly, and if it's not a joke, it's not a joke. You missed it, whatever. But it's like that said, it was one time you guys cut it out, and you never addressed why you cut it out. You never said, hey, don't do that. That's not cool. Never. You just cut it out. And then I was like, oh, okay. They just cut it out. Like, not a big deal. They just didn't like it or whatever.
Oh, yeah. Okay, Trisha. Why you say this before then? Trisha, you knew was a problem. That's why you used it to jab at him. Because you knew. Stop acting like you don't know. You guys should even call her out on it. She knows. Ethan, be like, okay, I know I didn't tell you, but don't act like you don't know. Because you spent all of these episodes of Frenemy talking about how you see what's going on in the DMs. Discussion you had about it on air is enough for me to know, Trisha, that you knew it was a problem behind the scenes. I just got that based off what you said on air. So if I got that, I don't understand how you didn't get it when you said before that you got it.
But you never once said this is a serious problem. Hila's like family's intention of war. No one told me anything. Moses didn't tell me. You didn't tell.
Now, she said Moses didn't tell her. I can believe Moses downplaying stuff, right? I could believe Moses saying, oh, no, my family doesn't mind, everything's cool, downplaying everything. But Trisha didn't believe Moses because Trisha brought up the argument on Frenemies. Trisha knew it was a problem because, like I said, Trisha's intelligent. She's emotionally intelligent. She knows what's going on. They didn't have to tell you. You knew because she knew it was an issue and then it was cut out. Those are the two clues she needs that this is something serious because nothing else is cut out, but that's cut out. Obviously, there's a reason.
How was I supposed to know? It was an offhanded joke.
Moses should have told you because Hila kept talking to him about how he.
Hila should talk to me. That was the whole point.
Yes.
How am I supposed to know something I'm saying is that offensive to people? I took it as lighthearted. Like, who cares? We talk about your family.
It wasn't one incident. And Dan, you have to back me up here. But don't, unless you agree with me, is that continually throughout episodes, you're always making comments about Moses not being close to his family.
Because it bothers you guys. So I kept doing it. And you never once told me off camera that it's not, that you don't like that. Stop doing it. You always said on camera, you just like, it's the way you poke me about everything in my life. You do it too.
To me, that seemed like an obvious boundary. And on the show, I would be like, you have to stop saying that. But you're right. I agree with you.
I'm getting confused where the boundaries are. You guys need to talk about that.
That's it for me. That's the only boundary.
And speaking of boundaries, weren't we heading towards the exit about 5 minutes ago?
Yeah. You guys what, you guys got something to do?
Yes, I have something to do.
Sorry.
What, a couple of doctors? You got nothing better to do?
Sorry. Can you post too?
Thank you so much.
Should we,
I have to say, I'm kind of surprised by how low I didn't think that I was going to hit very high, but I'm kind of surprised by how low.
I guessed it. I said 8 and it was a 7. I knew. Because I just like, you're not a narcissist. I mean, there's a lot of things to say about you, like you're a hypocrite and stuff, but like a narcissist.
Oh, I'm a hypocrite? Fuck.
I don't know why people get so angry when they hear they're a hypocrite. You know what I mean? We all have that in us. You know, you point it out, but it's not a bad thing. It's just, okay, what am I a hypocrite about? Let me just see what's going on. We all have our biases, but let's see.
I think that's your only flaw. Can I say this? I mean this as a compliment. Like, there's really not a lot.
Wait. What am I a hypocrite about?
I think you are somewhat hypocritical of like things like the contradictions where you say, oh, it's not the same thing when it is. Like you guys can like not to go back and forth, but you really don't think you're wrong.
I don't think hypocrisy was even on that scale, Trisha.
I'm not saying it was.
So let's get the doctors
I also
involved.
don't think you like admit you're wrong.
This doesn't make any sense. She goes, you don't admit when you're wrong. Trisha, Ethan doesn't think he's wrong. So if you don't believe you're wrong, why would you admit you're wrong? All right? Now, here's the thing, too, where I give Ethan credit. And yeah, Ethan's a hypocrite, but like I said, show me a person, I'll show you a hypocrite, right? There's all things that if you point out about me, right? And then you make a logical point about why I'm being hypocritical at this point, I can see it and say, yeah, okay, you're right. You know, just show me. And this is why I give Ethan credit. Because when you point out to him when he's being hypocritical, well, this is what happened.
Yeah, obviously. Keemstar's
the worst.
Yeah, he's the worst.
There's something sick about that though, because like even like I always said, like even off camera when I truly didn't like you, like I feel like you were still nice to me off camera. Like you weren't like an asshole to me.
Because I was thinking about that, how, our relationship started from that one video.
Yeah.
But that's the thing, is because my intention was, I felt bad that you felt bad, and I wanted to I wanted to not be rude to you, of course, if we talked off. Like Keemstar made Hila cry once, like when he after he came on the podcast, and I was like, whatever, I know you got, because everyone was mad at me, and I left this comment like, I know you guys hate him, I do too, but I think we should talk about him because he's an interesting guy. And then he lost his shit. And Hila, and I was trying to calm him down. I was like in the DMs with him being like, dude, it's not that big of a deal. I didn't mean it like I hate you. It's just a figure of speech. And he was like fucking losing his mind. And then Hila tried to talk to him, and he made her cry. He was so fucking rude and relentless. Say? Honestly, it was years ago. I don't remember.
Oh, just like words, just like nasty words.
Yeah.
remember like this year he was like calling her like a horse, or there was something with a horse.
Oh yeah,
and I was like, to me that's like so gross. And you did do that. I did fight back. I was like in his defense because I was like, you also made fun of girls' looks, but at the same, like, it's just like, to me that's gross when like old men like make fun of people's looks, even if it's for comedy, whatever. I think it's just like a low blow. Like it's like, that's what you're gonna make fun of, someone's like wife being ugly or something or whatever they think, you know.
Well, I guess I have made fun of women's looks, but I think this like that targeted thing of being like, you're a horse, and then because then they like keep hammering it, and like this like Leafy has it on a hoodie now. He made like a hoodie with a horse.
Yeah, it's gross. I think it's nasty, but I think it's the same thing you did when you called Tana a Twinkie, and then I came on the podcast and you still were like, yeah, she looked like a Twinkie. Like, it's still mean no matter what, because clearly Ela doesn't look like a horse and Tana doesn't look like a Twinkie, and they know that. They're pretty, so they don't care, but at the same time, it's still nasty. It's just like, you look gross. You just look, and I don't care if people have done it. People like, oh, people do that for comedy or whatever. It's like, that's like a joke that we need. People evolve and like the world evolves. I think that needs to evolve to stop like bashing girls' looks as your thing. Like, it's a low blow to be like, Trisha's fat. Like, that's all I hear is you're fat. Okay, if I lose weight, then what are you going to come for me for? You know what I mean? It's like, who cares? Like, that's all you can say about me? That fat bitch? Okay.
I feel like the Twinkie comment was I don't know why. I thought that was, is that not different than the horse comment? No. I'm trying to rationalize it.
How? No, I don't know.
Can I call a girl Twinkie? I guess that was rude of me.
Oh, that you told me I look like a corpse in the video about me.
Yeah, well, you were laying in you were in a coffin. That one I feel like was fair game.
My eyes were just closed.
Yeah, it looked like you were in a coffin. I think that's funny. I did say.
You called someone a beach whale.
I think I said it looked like I think it was about you. It looks like you just washed up on the beach.
Yes, exactly. So don't rationalize that as you thought I was a beautiful mermaid.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, no, you're right. It was, but like maybe does it get an exemption for being funny?
I think Keemstar thinks he's being funny.
Right.
So. Who did I pick on that battle when Keemstar and you guys were I think I picked Keemstar.
I was like, what? I was like, you are such a fucking
yeah, I should have hated you. Huh?
You're such like a Judas. How you flip flop between camps. I'm sure you'll be friends with Keemstar in a month from now.
Absolutely.
Being like, yeah, Ethan's fucking. I used to go to his house, and you'll start making up shit like.
No. I know. I need to last week, and then I started eating again. I don't know.
I think you made a good point though. I think you said you know what? First of all, they can call Ela a horse. I just think, but I think you made a good point. Like, I think you made a good point. I can't make fun of how women. I can't say, for example, that you look like you washed up on the beach.
Now I agree with what Trisha was saying. When Trisha compared it to H3H3 Productions making that video about different women and how they look, and Ethan's doing all his jokes about it, Trisha was right to bring up, well, you make fun of women's looks too. You goof on women too. The only difference was that he wasn't harping on one woman all the time with these comments, but he did open himself up. When Trisha pointed that out to Ethan, you saw Ethan thought about it. He didn't get it right away, but you could see he was thinking. And then finally, he realized, like, you know what? You're right. I am being a hypocrite. And what did he do? Because I've noticed since that moment up till now, Ethan watches what he says about people, especially women, and how they look. Like, he watches how he goofs on people. He always is mindful, and I call it back to this moment here. Trisha was able to kind of let him see something, and he actually saw it, understood, and was like, and he changed since then.
I'm gonna move. I'm going.
Oh.
One already U-Haul-ish, I think.
That's embarrassing.
Okay?
If you get banned, I'm
Nice
not
shots.
gonna be sad.
I have a blind for U-Haul if they push you.
I'm not gonna apologize. You did that shit to yourself,
Rim
bro.
fired. They're playing
She's
right
already
now?
look at. She says, if you get banned, I'm not even apologizing. Like, already preparing that people are going to be hating her. What are you apologizing for? You literally didn't do anything. You were minding your own business, and these guys came over to harass you. And she's already preparing to apologize. Like, I'm sorry, what? Also, the guy who raided her, who says he doesn't understand what misogyny is, the minute he got banned, he said, hashtag new profile pic. Guys, tell me, is this misogynistic? This is, again, a meme that was perpetuated by the red-pilled incel community and people like Keemstar and the likes. They go, dude, without makeup, she's not even that hot. This is a picture the Pokey posted herself. I don't know the context of it, but they're like, oh my God, dude, she doesn't have makeup on. She's not even hot. I don't know. I guess this proves that they're 12 or virgins. The only thing that this proves is that they've never had a sleepover with a woman. And second of all, she is beautiful without makeup. She posted it herself. It's actually quite insane to post that. New profile pic. So yeah, I mean, of course it's misogynistically fueled. Why else would you pick that? And again, let's remind ourselves that Pokey did literally nothing. And she's being blamed for him getting banned for something that was overtly against Twitch rules. It's insane.
So I give him utmost respect for that. I'll give him credit for that. Unlike you, Trisha thinks, oh, I'm a hypocrite. Everybody's like, I'm a hypocrite. And because she says she's a hypocrite, she can do whatever she wants to do because, hey, I'm a hypocrite. No. We're all hypocrites in general, right? You're all hypocrites, but it doesn't give you a license to be a hypocrite. When somebody points out you're a hypocrite, then change and be like, yeah, you're right. And then let me fix it, because why are you being a hypocrite if you know you're being a hypocrite? So anyways, that's why I give Ethan respect because of that. So right now, Ethan doesn't think he's wrong with the whole boundary things. Ethan doesn't see it. And because Ethan doesn't see it, he doesn't think he's wrong. I'm not going to be too hard on him because, again, he doesn't see it. But if she were to explain it to him in a way in which he could understand and see it, I feel as though, like before, he would kind of change.
Your only fault is like you really don't think you're wrong most of the time. Like you're like, what did we do wrong? Like you can't even admit that you're like 5% wrong in that situation.
Wait, I fully admitted I was wrong. I should have talked to you.
Yeah, I think now you come around to it, but it takes you a minute.
Yeah, but I mean, I agree. I fully should have told you about that boundary before we went on 100%. And there was something else that.
Yeah, I felt bad it was Hila's birthday, but in all fairness, you made your first attack video on my birthday.
It's fine.
And that's when I had the meth overdose and went to the hospital.
Okay, whoa. All
right
after. So, if you want to go there.
Did you guys just hear that? December 2020, when all of this went down, it was Hila's birthday. Maybe if it's not her direct birthday, maybe birthday weekend. You know, if your birthday's on a Friday, you might want to celebrate on a Saturday. You know what I mean? Because it's the weekend. You know what I mean? Okay, so it's her birthday or birthday weekend. Trisha pulled this stunt. December 2021, Hila's birthday. They're not invited to Trisha and Moses' wedding. Now, it could be a coincidence that now 2 birthdays in a row, birthday weekends, whatever birthdays, Hila's day has been messed up. And Trisha says right there, well, you guys put up that infamous video about me on my birthday. Every time she brings up that video, she mentions it was on her birthday. It was on her birthday. Remember, she went to a mental institute because all of this happened. It was on her birthday. I would think it would have just been a coincidence that she acted up on Hila's birthday and she had her wedding around Hila's birthday. I would think it was a coincidence if she didn't say this right here. Well, you guys did such and such to me on my birthday, and Trisha cares about her birthday. She's one of those people that if you don't say happy birthday to her, it's problems. If you don't get her a present, it's problems. If you don't plan her a party, it's problems. She's one of those people. So the fact that she attributes them releasing that video, Instagram versus reality, on her birthday, and she keeps bringing it up, I wouldn't put it past her causing this ruckus because it's around Hila's birthday to say, well, you did it to me, I'll do it to you. Why?
Right. So I'm glad that you could feel it. A little bit of pain. Honestly, I'm bitter like that. I'm a petty bitch where I'm like, if you're going to make me feel pain, I'm going to make you feel that same pain. Like,
yeah, that's why we love you. Jesus.
Dan,
Dan kind of fucks me over sometimes. I'll tell you. Dan throws me under the bus.
No,
sometimes.
I was shook because I think me and Dan always had a rough start. He didn't want me on the show from the very beginning.
Yeah, on Friday he threw my ass under the bus.
No, he wasn't throwing your ass.
And everyone's like, yeah.
He was bringing awareness, like, oh, I think because not to throw AB under the bus, but he summarized the video.
Oh, let's get into it. AB.
Wrong, saying that I was.
Yeah, AB kind of screwed me. I think AB screwed me.
Okay, where's my apology in the comments? Where is my apology in the comments? What did I say about AB? What did I say? Didn't I say he didn't do what he was supposed to be doing? I know I didn't watch the Trisha Chucky video. I know, okay? I know I didn't watch it. But you know what I didn't do? I didn't come up on my channel and say I watched the video that I didn't watch. No, I told you all. I did not watch the video. And I told you all the reason why I did not watch the video. Right? Are we all on the same page? I told you that. AB, I don't know what you did, but when Ethan kept on asking you, what did the video say? And you were talking pure, not like you were not saying anything. That's how I knew. I'm not going to say you didn't watch the video, but like I said, miscommunication, you were not articulating yourself properly because what you said did not make any sense. And I'm glad right now Ethan is pointing it out. Now, here's the thing. I love AB. AB's jokes. AB was new to the channel, right? I'm not going to give. And AB, maybe you had my same excuse. Maybe you had Chucky doll memories, flashbacks. Then I get you. Or you don't want to sit there and watch a 45-minute video of Trisha rambling. I get you. But when you're called to the front of the class, either you bluff your way through it better, but don't make it worse, or just tell the truth. Like, ain't nobody got time to watch that video.
Because he's like, she's mad that the chat's on Hila's side. I'm like, what chat? What are you talking about? I was just like watching something on my phone.
No, but also AB summarized your video
poorly. It was not
and
what
he made it sound like it was like trashing us the whole
I was
time.
like praising, like I was like, I want to be a part of this.
So I think AB screwed me on that one.
So,
but he did say in his after I was already charged up and angry at you and ready to talk about it on live, he goes, maybe it's not as bad as I made it sound.
So why wouldn't you watch it? As Dan says, why spend 40 minutes talking about a video you didn't watch?
Well, I did. Well, to be fair, I didn't talk that much. I didn't really.
It was
talk.
40 minutes.
Yeah,
it was 40 minutes.
I didn't have. I didn't have 40 minutes in the morning. We were working.
No, you guys talked 40 minutes
about
a
the
video.
comment you pinned, which was fucked up.
Oh my god, you didn't see the video. The whole video was me just being like,
the comment.
Thank
The
you,
comment
like,
had nothing to do with the video.
And then us.
And so, but mostly I blame AB.
True.
I'm just kidding. Yeah, go, you can say something.
Yeah, give me a mic.
Okay, let's hear what AB has to say. Number 5.
Okay, so when I summarized the video, I was going word for word for sentences, but I did say at the end, and Dan can back me up, it sounds worse in text. I recommend that you watch it yourself.
What do you mean you were reading
I
subtitles?
recommend you. By the way, AB, our show starts at 12 live,
I understand.
and he sends me the summary at like 12:50. He goes, "I recommend you watch it." It's like, dude, what am I gonna do?
Look at that. AB, you set him up. Can you imagine? His job is to summarize the video, and the last line is, yeah, I really think you should watch it. AB, your jokes for that, your jokes.
I want to be a part of the family. I want you guys a part of, like, I want everyone to be together. So I try it. I know it's COVID, but just to make that clear, I want to be in. But either way, I really like you guys, and I wanted to be part of this. It's why, like, from the beginning, I wanted to come to, like, your house and be a part of your lives and everything. The successes of this channel I want to be a part of your family and your life.
Oh my God, Freddie.
And make money. And I'll keep a dog.
No, you're not.
Okay.
All right, guys. Thanks for watching.